Hi, this is Rich from Wings, Wheels, and Wires, and today we're going to answer this question. Do German automakers understand electric vehicles? You see, like it or not, the BMW i3 is the only EV made by BMW, Mercedes, or Porsche that earns the BMW i program moniker of Born Electric. At launch, its sister car was the i8, which was a plug-in hybrid. And with one exception, every EV made by these manufacturers has basically been built on an existing internal combustion platform. The Porsche Taycan comes in either gas or electric. The Mercedes EQB is the electric version of the GLB. Even the BMW i4 is a 4 Series sedan with electric drivetrain. Is this a sign that these automakers are afraid to commit to EVs, or is there actually a smart approach to electrification? Let's find out right now.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball.
Okay, so let me start with a little bit of a disclaimer. I have long since been a critic of these manufacturers due to the lack of a frunk on their vehicles. You see, the big problem with these EVs sharing a platform with gas or ICE cars is that they have no frunk. These vehicles have large engine bays that could easily accommodate vehicle components and a frunk. This was certainly a case for the BMW i3, which had a much smaller hood. But they don't, because the components, like the master brake cylinder for example, are in the same place as their ICE counterparts instead of pushing them to the edge like Tesla does. So with this in mind, you can tell that I am not a fan of this build format. I've always considered this to be pretty non-committal. The only problem is, this is directly conflicts with other things that the companies have been doing. In December, I attended a release event for the BMW i5. Thank you to BMW of El Cajon, by the way, for the invitation. This was one of many such events they had invited me to. These events were pretty nice and reflected a company very proud of its electric vehicles. This left me confused, so I discussed this with one of the staff at the event. He gave me some insight that I had not considered before. The whole basis for this design principle is cost savings. Now on the surface, that sounds kind of lame, but bear with me on this and let's take a look at it. Let's take a quick look at an American automobile company, Ford. The Mustang Mach-E is a dedicated EV platform, and because of this, it has its own dedicated assembly line, employees, and set of parts. Now let me introduce you to the concept of economies of scale. What this means is the more of something you buy, the less you have to pay for each unit. Think of it this way. A can of soda at a convenience store may cost $2, and they may only sell 10 of these a day. Whereas Walmart will sell the same soda in a 6-pack for $1 each because they can sell hundreds of these 6-packs in the same day. Costco will sell the same soda in a 24-pack at 50 cents each because they may sell 500 of these 24-packs each day. The higher the volume you move, and the more bargaining power you have with the manufacturer. Now let's take a look at Ford again. The Tesla Model Y is cheaper than the Mach-E, so Ford doesn't sell as many Mach-Es as Tesla does Model Ys. They could sell more if they lower the price, but they can't since they lose tens of thousands of dollars on each vehicle because they don't have the economy of scale. They're stuck in a terrible spot because in order to attain economy of scale, they have to sell a lot more vehicles at a terrible loss on each vehicle, hoping that after selling enough, that their loss per unit decreases and they can finally sell at a profit. This is a very dangerous game and it could sink the company. Alright, so now let's take a look at the German companies again. With the exception of the drivetrain, these vehicles are built on the same assembly line by the same employees, and as a result, this means the majority of the construction of these vehicles already benefits from economies of scale. Because of this, BMW has about the same profit margin on the i4 as they do on the gas 4 Series. This is completely scalable, and you can easily flex between more i4s or more 4 Series as needed. Earlier, I mentioned that there was one exception from these manufacturers. That exception is the BMW iX. This vehicle seems to follow the idea of Born Electric. It started its life as a ground-up EV, and it even has CFRP body parts. It is as close as you are going to get to a successor to the BMW i3. So why don't I count it then? Let's start with that frunk again. Every other EV from these companies has a standard hood that you can open and see all that wasted precious space. Not the BMW iX though. They don't even have a hood opening lever, with the only access being the ability to fill the windshield wiper fluid through the front BMW logo. Why would they do this to a dedicated EV? Now let me introduce you to the BMW XM. This is a gas vehicle built on the iX platform. That's right, this is just another crossover vehicle. However, this one got the EV version first and then the ICE version. Alright, by this point in the video, I'm pretty sure I've already gotten comments down below saying, you forgot about Volkswagen. They have dedicated EV platforms. And to you, I say, no, I didn't. VW is indeed a separate category. That's why I didn't mention them with the others. First, thanks to Herbert Diess, VW jumped hard and early, compared to other legacy platforms, into EVs. Because of this, they are in a very similar situation to Ford, only better, and worse. Better because while they are losing money on their EVs, they lose a lot less than Ford. And they anticipate price parity in 2025, so they might be looking at profits as early as next year. So, how is their situation worse? Well, you see, while Ford is losing a lot of money on each EV they sell, their ICE business is still highly profitable, and it actually, for the most part, makes up for the loss. VW does not have this benefit. They are rapidly losing market share, especially in China, and especially in their ICE vehicle segments. This means that they do not have the same protection Ford does. It also means that it is very likely that they'd be in a pretty similar situation even if they approached EVs in the same way their German peers did. Alright, so this is where I would love to get your input. What do you think about this design idea? Do you think it's a good idea the way they're building the vehicles? Do you think it's a bad idea? Does this make you more or less likely to buy a Mercedes, BMW, or Porsche, or more likely? Go ahead and throw it down in the comments below. Alright, and also, while you're down there, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button? That would be really awesome. Thank you. Also, speaking of subscribers, right here is subscriber shoutouts. If you'd like your own shoutout, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and either make sure your name is visible or put in the comments down below that you subscribed. Jeffrey Young. Jeff Gorczynski. And he requested a special shoutout for his friend Al Beback. Wait, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Hey Arnold, can you help?
I'll be back.
Okay, if you've watched this long, I thank you very much. Right here, you click this. This is a video that YouTube thinks you'll like. Next.